Welcome to part 2 of the top 10 couples that could have been but aren't in anime. So, without further ado, let's move on to number 5. Number 5. Mikasa and Eren from Attack on Titan. Okay, a lot of you fans are probably going to go, yes! 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 Before you do, I want to point out something. I don't want to see them together till near the end of the series because I want to see them defeat the Titans first. I want to point this out. The romance is not a focus of the show. Have the show focused on the Titans and the mystery behind them first. Think about the romance stuff later. I do support them, don't get me wrong. This is just my opinion. Now, why do I support them? Well, let's see. Eren Yeager saved her life when she was young. That would be enough for me, but the fact that her obsessive way of protecting Eren goes beyond love and to obsession. It's very dangerous for a person to be like that. Eren is her lifeline. Like it or not, the only reason she is alive is for Eren's sake. That's it. So, to be fair, I do really like this one. And I do think they'd work well together, because Mikasa can pull Eren back. Well, Eren can sometimes help out Mikasa's emotional distance. So I do think they work well with each other. It's just maybe wait till the end of the manga/show before you put them together. And that is why they are my number 5. Number 4. Risa and Roy from Fullmetal Alchemist. Okay, before anyone says it, yes, this was one of the most obvious choices ever. Yes, I support this couple too. No, why don't I do everything for it? Because I can't. I will say this right now, it's very likely they did end up together after the series was completed, but we'll never really know, as we never see them together by the end of the series. But come on, their chemistry was excellent, and they would die for the other. Hell, look what Roy did with the homunculus in episode 19 of Brotherhood. Look what Risa did to Frank Archer. These are shows of examples of love from both series. Seriously, they love each other. I think it's pretty damn obvious from both series. Brotherhood shows it, I think, more blatantly. Well, the original was a bit more subtle with it. But it was clear in both series, and that is why they are my number 4. Number 3. Sakura and Shiro from Fate's Stay Night. Okay, if you've seen my top 10 things I'm worried about, 5 things I'm worried about for Fate's Stay Night's remake, this should come as no surprise. Honest to God, this isn't a surprise, because I've already said the words, I support this, when it comes to Sakura and Shiro. Since then, I have looked up much more, and even done research, and seen a bit of a playthrough bits of Heaven's Feel. I support this couple even more than before. I hate Zoken even more. Honest to God, this couple I really want, and I'll tell you why. Both of them have suffered. Both of them have had a horrible childhood. Well, Shiro did get some solace with Kiritsugu. he's still essentially empty inside and needs to fill the void of his own heart, and needs the joy of helping others is his version of joy. Sakura can only have joy when she's around Shiro. We see this, otherwise she's self-loathing. And we don't see this in the series, but we definitely see it in Heaven's Feel. So, yeah. That's why they're my number 3. Moving on. Number 2. Kogias's Shirley and Lelouch. Now, I know people don't always like Shirley. I don't quite understand why. But I really like Shirley. Seriously, she was awesome. And I don't know what other people are thinking when they say she's like an annoying character. Okay, I kind of see it. But honestly, I don't see it like that. I see her as trying to bide for this guy's attentions, who, to be kind of fair, is not the best kind of person. Even beforehand, he's not the best. Honestly, though, Shirley looks like it's working until it's not. Until Lelouch does something that he does later regret. And it hurts him personally. And I gotta be honest, that is really, really sad. Honest to God, this couple I really supported. And by the way, F you, Rolo, for what you did in the second season. Even if you were technically redeemed, you were never redeemed for killing Shirley. Oh, and for attempting to kill Nonali, but that's another story entirely. Anyways, and their final scene together was really, really heartbreaking. And I'll be honest here, it was probably the saddest scene for me in Code Geass, because you finally got to see Lelouch really suffer the way that Suzaku had with Euphemia. And I really wish this couple had worked, but they didn't, and that is why they are my number 2. And my number 1 could have been couple but aren't is Millie and Wolfwood from Trigun. Okay, first and foremost, I should mention this right now. If you're not far into Trigun, I would wait until you're at least a little further into Trigun before I start talking about this. Well, here it goes. This couple really could have been. It's shown very early on that Millie adored Wolfwood. However, Wolfwood wasn't exactly that way, not at first. They generally grew along, but it was very subtle because the main focus was on Vash and his interaction with Wolfwood. So their relationship took a sideline, but they were good foils for the other. And by the way, this is a major spoiler for Trigun. Wolfwood scores with Millie. He seriously does. And it's kind of awesome that he did. However, it was really comforting to see, especially since she was comforting him for a decision he made a little earlier in an earlier episode. So, yeah. And by the way, that scene is very subtle. It's a blink and you'll miss it kind of scene. I'm not going to spoil what happens to their relationship and why they're not a couple. But let's just say the next 2 countdowns will spoil it. But for now, you'll have to have that mystery, but they are my number 1. Anyways, that's all for me. This has been Star 6 Wars 1. And with any luck, my next month of love and heartbreak movie will be either the Ori Shira review, the H2O Footprints in the Sand review, or the top 10 heartbreaking romantic scenes. See you guys then.